Hi everybody, happy Wednesday. No, it's not, it's Tuesday. Happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday evening. We're going to do, as you know, we didn't do a live at 1 o'clock because I've got a little project to do with you. And, hi Jean. I'm just going to go down and do your comments. 2 seconds. Let's go down there. I thought I'd do an evening one because this has got a, it's not a particularly complicated thing to do, but I just thought, well, there's some of you that are in work and you quite like an evening one, and we're going to tackle a zip today as well, for those of you who want to. So I just thought we could do something, you know, just a little bit, it takes a little bit longer, you know, than trying to sort of cram everything into that like half-hour lunchtime thing. So I'm just going to say hello to everybody who's coming online. So we've got Anne, hi Jean, happy Burns night. Oh, it's Burns night, isn't it? Did you have haggis? Oh, it's one of Sarah's favourites. Sarah loves a bit of haggis. I don't mind haggis actually. Hi Maria, hi Tina, hi Carol, hi Leslie, hi Linda from you and Kim. Hi Kim. Hi Tarol, Zips, yes please, this scare me. Oh, this won't scare you, lovely. Honestly, this is a nice easy way of doing it. So we're gonna do a little bag tonight, and then we're gonna put a zip in the pocket for, you know, internal pocket. This bag can be reversible if you want, but I'm going to show you, you know, a couple of different ways of doing things. Really simple actual construction, but I thought with the zip and the closure and stuff, you know, we could do a bit longer session. So who else is there? Hi Marilyn, hi Marion, hi Wendy, hi Carolyn, hello. Oh, what was that, Maria? I missed that. Happy. Oh, don't make me say that. That's Welsh. Oh, is it the Welsh Valentine's Day today? Is that today? I'm not going to try and pronounce it because I wouldn't want to butcher it, but happy that day to you guys too. Hi Jen, nice to join you live with no distractions. Absolutely. Yeah, well we will try sort of every sort of 2 or 3 weeks to do an evening one. Gives us a little bit more time, but it also means that you guys can just, you know, maybe you're not in your lunch hour, or, you know, I've got the kids around, grandkids and stuff around, so you can kind of sit and relax with us and do it with us. Lynn, you've just had your haggis, neats and haggis, neeps and tatties. I'm ready to watch. I really should know that. I should be able to say that. My mum's like got really strong Scottish ancestry. I think we've talked about it before. The Innes estate. Her great grandmother was Lady Innes, and literally ran away with the gardener, like a Lady Chatterley's lover thing. Got disowned and everything. But we can wear the tartan and stuff. I really ought to embrace my Scottish heritage a little bit, shouldn't I? I keep freezing. Oh, sorry, Marilyn. Am I freezing for everybody else? Hi, Grace. Hi, Sarah. Am I freezing for anybody else? Or is it just Marilyn? If it's just Marilyn, then I'm afraid that's you, my darling. I think it's all right here, but let me know if it's freezing and stuff. Then please do let me know, okay? I'm gonna stand up so I can show you the little bag. So let me get back up a minute, get my chair out of the way. So I'm hoping you can see this. So we're gonna make this bag tonight, and it's a boho or hobo bag, sometimes they're called, and it's chucked right over like that, all right, so that it keeps your hands free. See, I like a crossbody. I do like a crossbody bag. I've got lots of little crossbodies, but actually when I'm running, you know, I've got little man out in the buggy and stuff, so that I can throw over and shove stuff in, was the idea. And there were hundreds of patterns out there. I looked at about 17 different patterns. I think I downloaded about 7 of them, and I've kind of amalgamated all the bits I liked out of them and the techniques I liked out of them to come up with our own little version. So this one isn't reversible. It was going to be reversible. None of them had zips in or closures either, and I wanted a zipped pocket and a closure. So we're going to put a little closure on. So I've got a button on that side, and the pocket in there. But you could turn it all the other way round like that. Okay, and the one we're going to do is going to be in different colours. Okay, so your zips on the outside, and it would be against you. And we've got another. Oh, I did have another button. Your buttons come. Oh, it is. There. Okay, and the fastener's like that. I was being an idiot then. Okay, so it is completely reversible. We're going to do it in 2 colours, so the outside and the inside is different, so it is definitely reversible. This one, I decided I would do it like this so I could show you like the dual split, and we'll talk about that in a moment. Okay, so pop that aside and let me have a little look at the comments. Kate, hi Ali, Hi Hillary. Hi Carol. Hello. Hi Helen. Everyone else seems to be. Everyone says it's okay. Hi Jacqueline. Hi Carol Jackson. Hello. Everyone else says it's okay, Marilyn. So I think it might be you, my darling. It might be your internet. Any new fabrics due in the shop, please? There are lots of new fabrics due in the shop. We will definitely do them over the next few days and show you what's in. Okay. Hi May. You're sat on the sofa with a piece of chocolate while the boys are playing Armada on the dining room table, like the evening tutorials lots. Oh, fab. Yeah, we will do a few more actually, because sometimes it fits in with us in the shop. It works better for us. And I think it's nice for you guys to have an evening one as well, isn't it? You love the bag. Had one I bought in New Zealand. I thought about making a pattern from the new one. So exciting. Fab. So I'm going to go to the overhead for you. I haven't written the whole pattern out yet, okay? But I have put the template on the website, so you can go ahead and download the template. It's just on there for £1, but you can download the template and then use this video. But I will write the pattern up properly. I've just got to take some extra photos before I can finish it off. Hi Chelsea as well. Hi Mary. Hello. So the pattern is on the template that you'll get is 2 pieces like that, okay, like that and like that. Let me move all these bits out of the way so I've got you here, okay. So it's 2 pieces and you're just going to cut them out on the line. You're then going to tape them together like that, okay. That's your strap basically pattern. And on the bottom here you're just going to tape an A4 piece of paper, okay. That actually worked for the dimensions for me really well, okay. We're going to do a boxed corner bag, so it's a bit more, you've got a bit more space in it. But if you wanted a slightly different shape, just draw a curve here. So put a plate or something and draw a curve and miss out the box step. So you'd have a flatter bag, but it would have like a rounded bottom. Okay, so there's lots of ways you can play around with it. Hi Julie. Hi Chelsea. Hello everybody. So cut out your paper pattern. Like I said, it's there on the digital downloads as Boho Bag template. Cut it out and tape it up. Once you've taped it all up, you're going to need 2 exterior fabrics and 2 lining fabrics. So I've chosen these beautiful Make Time fabrics, which are in the shop. They should be on the website. They're relatively new in from Moda actually. Although what have I done there? Oh, I didn't trim the bottom bit. I'll do that in a second. So I folded my fabric in half and I've done it twice. I folded it over twice so I could cut them together, okay. So I folded it in half and then back on itself and put the pattern down the fold. So I had the selvages in one fold over here, the fold down there, and cut out my pattern. And I've done that for both the lining and the main. Are you all with me so far? Everybody there? Hi Andy. Hello everybody. Is everybody with me so far? You're all okay with what I'm doing? I'm just going to very quickly trim off the bottom of the lining because I forgot to do that when I was cutting them out. It was just a bit too long and I didn't... Oh, I did trim it off. I did. That was me being a bit silly. So exactly the same size, front and back, okay? First thing we're going to do is, so this I'm going to use as the lining, but of course this is going to be totally reversible, so we can turn it inside out and it's going to be back and front, okay? So it doesn't really matter which one you start with. I'm going to start with the blue. I'm going to start with blue and I'm going to put the zip in here because hopefully the zip will show up nicely, okay? So we're going to open it out. I'm going to put it right sides together like that, okay, get that strap out of the way, right sides together, and we're just thinking about these side seams at the moment. Are you all okay? Am I in shot here? I had to move all the cameras around earlier and I'm not sure if I got them all back as they should be. Let me know if you can see what you need to, okay. Pop a couple of pins in, there we go, down there like that, don't need many, and all we're going to do is start by doing the side seams, okay, and we're just going to stitch down both sides. Now just before I start here, if you want the dual, like double bag like this, mix and match this. So put one of your blue fabrics with a white one, and you'll see in a moment what I mean, because this seam actually ends up being in the middle of the bag. So if you want it to be like this rather than all one colour on the outside and all one colour on the inside, you're going to mix and match them. So you'd put a blue, like with this one, these ones I put a yellow with my pattern and stitch them together, and I did the same for my inside, okay? So, but this time we're going to make it one colour on the outside, one colour on the inside. I'll pop that down there. I'm going to take it over to the machine. We're going to use edge of foot, so about 3/8 of an inch, and we're going to stitch down these two side seams. So you can see the left hand edge and centre of the fabric clearly. Cool. Okay, this bit over here is a bit, this side's a bit dodgy, okay? I can't quite get the angle out. I could go up a little bit actually. 2 seconds, let me just go up a little bit, and that will just widen it slightly, and I might be able to get more in. Okay, move my paper pattern out of the way as well, because we're not going to need that. And we're going to go over to the machine. So hopefully you're over here now. Hi. And I'm going to use edge of foot. So I've just got my standard foot on, and I'm going to use edge of foot, normal length stitch. Let's back stitch a little bit at the beginning because you want to just secure those edges. And down we go. Okay, we're just going to whiz down, and I'm just concentrating on keeping the edge of the fabric right against the edge of the foot. Because it's a bag, you just want the seams to be a little bit more sturdy than 1/4 of an inch. So that's why I'm using edge of foot, okay? You could do 1/2 inch if you wanted to, but I think edge of foot's fine. So have you all had your tea? Drew's cooking spag bol. We're sitting plate one up for me to have after this. I got it from the shop. We've got loads and loads done today. Beth and I have been busy little bunnies, and got lots and lots done. So right, I'm going to go over to the overhead so I can show you this little bit, and we're going to iron this out. Okay, so take those pins out, 1, 2, and the other side. But yeah, Drew's making spag bol and homemade garlic bread, and it smells amazing. And then we want to iron these seams open. I know we don't normally do that with sewing, you know, with quilting, but on bag making, it will make it all lie nice and flat. I tend to just finger press it first. Just find that a little bit easier, because I'm not a fan of ironing seams open. I find it quite fiddly. But so what have you all had your tea? Are you putting any stabilisers on in the fabric? I'm not, lovely. No, I don't think it needs it. The whole point of this bag is kind of, you could absolutely, if you wanted to, if you wanted it to be stiffer, you could put some of that really nice, what was it, H640, the foam, like wadding, the iron-on interfacing on one of them. But I haven't on the other bag, and I think for me the whole point of this bag was I could, you know, wrap it up quite small and stick it in the bottom of the buggy, or wrap it up quite small and put it in my work bag, and I've got an extra bag with me. You could put some interfacing on if you wanted to, but that's not the look I wanted from the bag. But if you want to, absolutely go for it. You could put some wadding on if you wanted, or some interfacing. Iron those seams open, okay? And then we're gonna take this out of the way. Hang on, let me move that one out of the way. Over there. Oh, just drop the zip on the floor. And the thing we're going to do now is we're going to put the zip on. So those side seams now go right down the centre. All right, they're going right down the centre. You want to turn it right side out, like that. And this is where we're going to tackle that zip. Okay. There we go, like that. Just line those up so you've got those centre seams. Nice like that. Okay. And we're going to put a zipped pocket through here. And if I grab this one, I can show you. Okay. What we're going to do is this little zipped pocket. Alright. Which is a nice little totally enclosed zip pocket. You know, if you've got it on one way, it would be, you'd have the pocket against you. And if otherwise it would be on the inside. Okay. Right, let's have a look at your comments. Ooh, homemade broccoli Stilton soup for your tea. Ooh, nice. Oh, I love that. That's one of my faves. You've had salmon from the freezer left over from New Year's Eve with salmon and sweet corn and new potatoes. Delicious. If you don't put on interfacing, you can make them different colours to take on holiday. Absolutely, because this will roll up really nice and small, and you'd get sort of 2 or 3 in your bag, and they're not going to take up much space at all. So yeah, good point. First thing we're going to do is we're going to grab a pen. Let me grab a Frixion. There we go, on a little ruler. Because I've got this centre seam already marked for me, I just want to mark a line 3 inches down. Okay, so from that top little edge there, am I in the right place, guys? Top edge there, I'm going to mark a little line sorry, not 3 inches, it's going to be 3 inches in a minute, 2.5 inches down there. Okay, so I've got a little mark. Now you can skip this step. If you don't want a zipped pocket in it, you don't have to do this bit, okay? But it's not difficult, I promise, it's really not difficult. But you know, you might just want to make lots and lots of these as like shopping-y tote type things. So if you're going, you know, going around and about, you don't have to put a zip in at all. But on your outside of your bag, I know it seems strange marking it the outer fabric, but the outside of the bag, mark a seam 2.5 inches down. You want a piece, so when I cut out from the you know, the main piece of fabric, sorry, I forgot to tell you that, guys, you need 85 centimetres, so just under a metre of 2 fabrics, okay, because you need that long thin bit. From the bit that's left, I've cut a rectangle, which is going to be the inside of my pocket, which is 8.5 inches by 14.5 inches, okay. I'm very quickly press that. Oh, beef enchiladas, lush, another one. I just love food, but yeah, all Mexican food, yum, yum, yum. Yeah. Nice choice, May. There we go, okay. Right, pocket piece. Fold it in half lengthways, like that, and just press that really well, okay. I just finger press it so I've got a line. Let me move the bag out of the way so you can see more what I'm doing, all right. So you can see I've got that little pressed line right down the centre. On the reverse side of this, okay, we're going to mark down 3 inches. This is where the 3 inches is, like that. Now, if you want to put a bigger zip in, okay, I'm using a little zip, all right? This zip is a 7-inch zip, so I've done it 8.5 to give myself a little bit of room. If you're using, say, an 8-inch, a 9-inch zip, you want a bigger pocket, just make it about the pocket about 1.5 inches wider than your zip, okay? This is a 7-inch zip, okay? So what I mean by 7-inch zip is you measure from the stop point to the stop point, okay? So if you go from there, can you see, to there, okay, that's a 7-inch zip. From that 3-inch line, okay, half of 7 is 3.5, okay? So I'm actually, because I want to enclose those stopper points, I'm going to make it 6.5. All right, so half of 6.5 is 3.25. So I've got my 3.25 line right on that centre bit. I'm going to draw a line out like that, and then out that way, 3.25 that way. So I've got a 6.5 inch line like that. I'm then going to draw another line parallel to that, 1/4 inch down, and then another line, another 1/4 inch down. Okay, are you all okay? Are you all with me? Everybody there still? So I've got line up like that, so it's parallel, and I'm going 1/4 inch away from that line, making sure it's the same length, like that, and then the same again. So I've got 3 parallel lines 1/4 inch apart. Here we go to there, like that. There we go, okay. Just freehand that and square it off, like that. And then just bring in a little sort of chevron-y shape, like this, okay, like that, all right. Those are just some markings you're going to need later. Back over to your bag, the main body of your bag. Now you want to grab yourself a pin, okay, let me see if I've got one with a bright coloured head on it, there we go, so I can show you. Where that centre line hits the crease, put a pin through, like that. Okay, and you want to get that pin on that little mark you made, like, there we go. Now you're just working on the top, don't catch the back, so put your pin through that mark like that, okay. Everybody still with me? Are you all okay? Are you following? Everything all right? Please do shout. Cheryl, you had cottage pie with cauliflower cheese and cabbage. Oh, lush. Again, lots of my favourites. Love a cauliflower cheese, all right? Make sure that that's lined up like that, and then grab another couple of pins and just, again, pin just on the one side. You don't want to be sewing through to that, just pin it in place. The other bit that I would say to pin is this flappy bit. Pin it down, right down at the bottom here, out of the way. Make sure it doesn't move, because it is so easy when you're stitching this for this to get caught under here, and then you have to unpick it all, and you've got a beautiful neat box you've stitched, and you just want to cry. Right, what we're going to do is we're going to slide this over the machine. So again, ignore this back piece, we're only dealing with the top, and we're going to stitch round the outside of the box like that. Ignore those internal markings, just the outside. So there we go. Let me have a little look, see what you're all saying. You're still with me, still following, all making sense. Brilliant. Okay, trying to break it because people can get really scared of zips, but I thought I'd try and break it down as much as I could for you guys. So I'm sliding this on. Am I on 4? There we go. Sliding this on, so I've just got the one bit. This is the back of the bag over here. Okay, doesn't matter where you start on the box, you're just going to stitch all around those lines. So get my needle right on that outside line, and off we go. Okay, I'm going to walk around like that, take that needle out there, that pin, because I'd put that in the wrong place. Honestly, this really isn't as scary as you think it's going to be. When I get to the end, make sure my needle's in, pivot it round, get that fabric out of the way, down that side of the box, a little bit more, there we go, round we go again. I think this is called an envelope pocket. I don't actually know the name of it. Does anybody know the name of this? I've done it so many times. It's like my go-to zipped pocket for a bag. I think it's called an envelope zip. There we go, all the way down that line, and just keep double checking that you haven't got any fabric underneath it, you know, that it's not caught and you're not sewing through any bits you shouldn't be. It's worth going a little bit slow and steady at this point. There we go, round we go again. Late joining, hi Heather. We'll watch what you've missed later. Oh, fair enough, lovely. All we did was just cut out the, well, it didn't cut out the bag because I'd cut that up previously. We're just putting a zip in now. We're doing a little, I'm going to call it an envelope pocket with a zip. There we go, so back to the beginning, just lock my stitch off and cut my thread. Now, where is my seam ripper? There it is. So I'm going to come back over here, and you're going to have to excuse me 2 seconds. I've realised my little sharp scissors are over there. 2 seconds, my darlings. I want my little snippy sharp ones. Okay, right, this is where you've got to be brave. Make sure all of that's out of the way. Let me get rid of those 2 pins out there out of the way. You're just working again, just with the top, all right? Put your seam ripper into that middle line, so the middle line that you drew, like that, and just push and create a little hole. Okay, don't push too hard. All I'm doing is just creating a little hole so I can get my scissors in. I call it a letterbox zip, yeah. Let's go, yeah, letterbox envelope, something like that. Yeah, letterbox would actually make more sense than envelope. I think I'm just thinking of envelopes because of the funny little markings you make. Insert your little scissors, and you're going to snip down that centre line all the way till you get to that point there. Okay, so snip down like that. There we go. And then you're going to snip it to the corners, basically along those little chevrons. Don't cut your stitches. Okay, this is where a good pair of little snippy scissors is really good. Okay, and then like that. And then turn it round and do the same the other side. So can you see what I've done there? I've just gone all the way down the centre and then like into the corners, but don't get your stitches. If you get your stitches, you can just re-sew it. It's not the end of the world, but try not to. Okay, there we go. And then snip into that side there. And then come on, let's just get my fingers in the right place. I'm keeping my hand in there so that I don't catch that other lot of fabric. So there we go. Okay. What we're going to do now is we're going to post. It is a letterbox, isn't it? Because you're going to post all this through. Yeah, definitely. I keep freezing. Sorry, lovely. That snipping looks terrifying, Sarah. Oh, Claire, I know where I've done this before on the Josie bag. I messed up the first time I did it all and cut the wrong place. Yeah. You just be careful with this little bit, okay? Hopefully this will help if you're ever doing this again. We're now going to post all this through. I keep freezing. Oh, I'm sorry, lovely. I don't know if it's me or if it's anybody else. I've got just the my normal Wi-Fi on, and there's not much else I can do, I'm afraid. What we're going to do is post all this through the slit that we cut so that that pocket piece is now on the inside. Okay, shake it all down like that, and then you want to get in here, and this is where you want to kind of be a bit careful with your ironing. Okay, really get that seam, give it a good roll, and I start by finger pressing all the way around. Give it a good roll, get that seam right up to the top. Except it doesn't want to roll today, does it? No, there we go, like that. Okay, and give it a good finger press. I just find if you do this bit first, it can just, there we go, get that seam right over. Before you start pressing it, you've got a bit of a fighting chance then. Okay, so you see what I did? I posted all that through, and all I'm doing is where that stitch around that box, we just, like that. Not on a laptop, I'm not freezing. Oh, you're on iPad, yeah. Sorry guys, I don't know. The freezing might not necessarily be from my end, it might be from yours, depending on your Wi-Fi and stuff. And there's very little I can do about it, I'm afraid. There we go, I'm just going to push that one through. So these corners, you know, you want it, they're going to fight you a little bit. So just, you know, encourage them to come through nicely, like that. Give it a wiggle. That little tug and a wiggle carefully can really work. Okay, and it is a bit fiddly, this bit, but it's worth taking your time and getting it done. Once you've kind of done that finger pressing, then you want to give it a really good press, right? So I know it looks like your pocket's too big at the moment, but it'll be fine, I promise. There we go, tuck it all in like that and give it a really good press. Now you've got a really nice, neat little opening ready to insert a zip into. And again, it's not much of a pocket at the moment because it's all out, but you've got that nice little letterbox. It is a letterbox, well done, not an envelope, letterbox, there we go. What that is now is perfect for inserting your zip in. So from the back, I'm going to put my zip in. Now, some people will use tape at this point, and they will tape this into place. Other people will hand tack it in. I'm a bit of a rebel and I can't be bothered with any of that, so I just pin it in and go slow and steady. And I'm just lining up that zip. Now, you're going to be stitching around here, so that little metal stopper is over here. You need to give yourself, that little metal stopper, you need to give yourself enough room when we're top stitching round to not hit the metal, because if you hit the metal, you're going to break your needle, okay? Jean, you were on an iPad and it was freezing. Now you're on a laptop and it's okay. Yeah, sorry guys, I don't know how to fix that, I'm afraid. It's not something that is kind of something we can do from this end. Right, again, just making sure I'm catching just the, oh, hang on, the zip. I'm going to pin it in place. So I'm going to lift up that zip. Now, a lot of people do use double-sided, where's it gone? There it is, I couldn't see it for looking then. A lot of people do use double-sided tape at this point, actually. Though, this is what I got this one out for. If you slide this underneath, like that, before you try and put your zip on, you can pin it without moving it all. I forgot about that. Here we go. Get that back under there. Right, okay, let's start again. I'm making this look more difficult than it actually is, which it's really not. So centre up that zip, the teeth of the zip, in the letterbox. And if you put your ruler underneath, you can push through and catch all of it like that. Okay, pin that in place. Just made that look way more difficult than it was. It is, I promise. I blame Facebook for the freezing. Yeah. A glue pen is great to put zips. Yes, that's a really good point actually, Jean. Yeah, if you've got one of the fabric glue pens, that works really well as well. I'm just always too impatient. I end up, right, let me just move that zip right up like that. So I can make sure this is nice and centered. And get my pins in. And I always stick one in the end like this, just to hold it all in place. And then one this end. Oh, there we go, like that. Right, so that's all pinned down, or however you like to fasten this. That little double Sided tape is brilliant for this. Glue pens would work as well. You're an iPad. It could be Facebook app. I always have problems viewing your live shows. You've got the same freezing hiccups with stream, but normally fine when you rewatch. Yeah, I genuinely don't know what else to do. We've got like super fast broadband in the house. I've dared any of the boys to go on their computers. Oh, damn it. I've dared any of the boys to go on their computers while I was live tonight. It was like, don't use all the bandwidth. So, yeah, I don't know why it is freezing, guys. We're going to take this over to the machine now. And what we're going to do is stitch, top stitch all the way around. So we're going to top stitch about 1/16 of an inch all the way around to enclose that zip. So, your pins are blending in with the fabric pattern. They are a little bit, aren't they? Yeah. So again, we're going to be working just on that top bit. So move all that back fabric out of the way. Make sure that pocket fabric is all still nice and flat. I've chosen a matching thread, so I've gone with a pale pink thread for my top stitch, all of my stitching, so it sort of like coordinates a little bit. And we're going to, oh no, sorry, excuse me guys, let's just take that out a second. I need to put my zipper foot on. Here we go, so zipper foot. Now I know Sarah Jane doesn't like using zipper foots, but I find it's so much easier. She does a brilliant job without changing her foot, but I frankly can't. I like a zipper foot on. It makes sense to me. It means I can see what I'm doing. So I also use the edge of the zipper foot here, right on the edge of that fabric, to keep my top stitch nice and consistent. Okay, because I find that's about 1/16 of an inch away. So I can stitch all the way around. Now go slow, okay? You don't want anything to move, so I'm going to take that pin out now. I've come to it. All the way to the top here. There we go. Now, can you see I'm coming to where the zip is, okay? So if I turn it towards me a weeny bit, I can undo that zip. Like that. So it goes past the foot, and then it's not going to catch. For years and years I used to try and undo the zip without pivoting it, and I could never get it past the foot. But my mum actually said, well, just pivot it towards you and then you can put it away. Okay, how do you know which side of the zipper foot to attach to the elbow? I'm never sure. I always go to the left because I'm working on that side, this side. I always have my excess fabric this side, so I go to the left. If you've got the excess fabric this side, you go to the right, or that's how I do it. Okay, so I'm going to come down this side now. It's the side that I want to sort of top stitch on, Claire, if that makes sense. Because I'm top stitching this side, so I want the foot needle that side. Okay, and then, oh, actually I'm going to take that pin out before I get to it, so I don't have to struggle. There we go. Come all the way down this side. Right, again, I'm coming towards that zipper foot, that bit. So turn it away, and then I can zip it up past the foot, and then when I turn it back, just make sure that's flat again. Here we go. I can now sew along here. And stop, take that pin out. There we go, and then fast, all the way down that side. Make sure this is all out of the way again. Take that pin out. There we go. Turn it again. Again, just a quick double check. Across we go. That was just going over the zip. It's a don't do this if you're using a plastic zip, a metal zip. You'll smash your needle. I'm using a plastic zip so you can sew over it. Okay, I'm coming down this side. I'm going to take that last pin out. Nearly there, and we've stopped. Okay. Take that other pin out and we'll get back over to the overhead. There you go, and that zip is now in. Okay, so it's in You can undo it, it's not going to come off the ends. You could put a second round if you wanted to. Okay, we're going to flip this back through like this. So we're back on the inside now. We're going to deal with the pocket. Oh, let's get that strap out of the way. So at the moment it's not a pocket, okay? You've just got this piece of fabric with that zip attached, all right? First thing I'm going to do is just chop off this excess zip now. So I'm going to just go along there and get rid of that excess there, and then along those bits and get rid of those excess bits there as well. Okay. I want to take the top of this, top of this piece here and the bottom of the rectangle, like that, line them up. And again, I'm all about the pins tonight. I don't normally, but this is definitely a time that I would. Add a couple of pins in, so we've got those bottom edge and top edge, like that. And I'm going to stitch across there now. Now, honestly, this is the most fiddly bit of the whole. Oh, I've still got my zipper foot on. Put that one off. That one back on. There we go. And away we go. So, back stitch. Down that edge of the pocket. The zip at this bit is the longest bit of the whole bag. Honestly, the rest of it comes together really quickly. It's just, you know, if you choose to put a zip in, and I think it's worth having a go. It's not a difficult thing to do. Okay, and then we're going to just go back over here a second so you can see. So at the minute, I've got a pocket that looks like that. Again, you can see it's going to come over the top of the bag. So wiggle this down. So take those pins out. Wiggle this down like that. So that's where the zip is here. All right. So you don't want to pull too much on that. Just iron that to one side, like that. Okay. Now, yes, you're going to have a seam in your pocket, the back of your pocket, okay? But it's on the inside of a zipped pocket. Nobody is ever going to see it. Ever see it, okay? So I wouldn't worry too much. What we're going to do now is we're going to just flip these up. Get all of that fabric out of the way, and we're going to go down the two sides just to create the pocket. Alright, like that, and we're going to do exactly the same on this one. So I'm going to flip this up like that, okay, line up those edges, grab another couple of pins, and we're going to stitch down those two. Alright, so back over to here, and our pocket's done. So how are you all doing? What have you been up to? We've had quite a few orders go through today. Beth and I have been busy doing that, which I think you're all excited about, being the 5,000th customer. We are very close to it, actually. I think we're not many away at all. So there's a lot more today than there normally is. There we go. Somebody was asking about new fabrics earlier on. Maybe on Thursday, after, because obviously I've got Hachanda stroke the craft store stroke Crate and Craft, whatever it is going to be. I have no idea what they're going to call this new merged company. Maybe afterwards Sarah could do a bit of a walk around in the shop and show you all the new fabrics. I'll speak to her tomorrow and see if she can do that. Okay, right. That's down the two sides. And over we go. You're still all there? Everybody's still there? You all still with me? You have just done a zipped pocket. Okay, so all your sides are all nice and enclosed. And if I turn this back to the front, like that. Okay, let's just chop that little thread off there. Okay, I've got a zipped pocket in with a completely enclosed pocket. Don't know if you can see in there, but that's all now completely enclosed, nice and safe. All right. So, zipped pockets. Who's going to have a go? Are you going to be brave and give it a go? I hope you do, because it's not a difficult thing to do. I probably made that look way harder than it actually is. Okay. Love to see the fabrics. Yes, I'll ask Sarah if she'll do a little bit of a walk round, maybe like after the 1 o'clock, after the Hachanda thing. Maybe she can do a bit of a walk around the shop and show you some new stuff. So everybody's still there. Will you be getting the new Janet Claire's Claire range Astra, yes, it has been pre-ordered. We will be having that one here, that one in Claire, yeah. You're all still there, lovely, lovely, cool. Right, zips in, pockets done. So I'm going to flip it back to the outside. So are you going to have a go? Which of you haven't done a pocket like that, tackled a zip, and who's going to do it now? Who's going to be brave? I will give it a go. Haven't tried one of these zips. Yeah, absolutely. You've put one on a cushion first time. It was so easy. Have to have a go. Definitely, definitely, definitely. So flipped it right sides out, and I've lined up those centre seams. Okay. Pop a couple of pins in, and we're going to stitch across the bottom. Like that. And like that. And we're going to stitch across the bottom of that one. Alright. And then we're going to box the corners. So over we go. I'll put a zip pocket in my bag, definitely. Yes, have a go, guys. Honestly, it's, you know, remember you can watch these back, listen to me rabbit on, or put me on mute and just watch back on how to do it. It's really not hard. It's really, really not hard. There we go, all the way down that one. And over we go. I like this method, it's easy, and it's, yeah, it is quite professional looking. I think it's quite nice and neat. You can play around with your top stitching as well, do it in a contrast thread, or, you know, do it, to put some decorative stitch around it, anything you like really, because you're doing it all before you close the pocket up. It does make it quite easy to do. Right, pins out. So, you could absolutely keep it as a flat bag, and if you were going to round off these corners, you can keep it as a flat bag. You don't need to box it off if you don't want to, but we're going to tonight. Okay, great demo of zip pocket, thank you. Excellent, good, 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 good. I'm glad you all got what I was rabbiting on about. First things first, just press that side seam, just so I've got a line to work to. Like that, okay. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my finger into here. I'm going to line that crease up with that bottom seam. Sorry, I should have just opened that seam up just a weeny bit. It's a lot easier. Don't completely open it. You can't because of the fact it's got a corner. But if you just open it a weeny bit like that, it'll make your life a bit easier. Can you see I just did a weeny bit like that? And then flatten that bottom seam with the crease I've just done. So I'm lining that up. Okay, again, pop a pin in, hold that flat like that. Alright, we're going to do the same the other side. Now we've boxed corners loads, haven't we? I'm sure we've done this before with other things. It's a nice easy little method to do. Let's get that lined up, just open that out. A lot easier if you do. You can actually kind of feel the crease as well. There you go. So I'm just keeping an eye on your comments too. Open that out like that as well. And then we're going to make a couple little markings. Oh, excuse me. Oh, good grief. The boys have got the heating on and it's very, very warm in here, which is quite nice having been so flipping cold in the shop today because it was freezing. We're going to measure down 1.5 inches from the corner. Again, if you want a deeper box, you can do that. But if you measure it down 1.5 inches, it should be about 3 inches across. Actually, let me do it this way, and you can probably see it a little bit better. Okay, so you want it to be about 3 inches across and 1.5 inches down. So there's my 1.5 inch line. Run that down the centre seam like that. And you can see that that 45-degree line is lining up as well. So you know it's going to be nice and square. So it's 1.5 down, which is about 3 inches across there. Draw yourself a line. Do the same. Got lots of things on the go at the moment. Strawberry shopping bags for Easter gifts, cutting dresses down to skirts for your mum if she struggles with dresses. Oh bless, lost so much weight. And then cutting them down and putting elastic. Oh wow, you're doing lots and lots, my darling. Lots and lots. So there we go. Where's my 1.5 inch line? There it is. And get my 3 inches across. There we go, like that. I'm going to stitch down those lines now. So got lots of zips, but putting lots of zips, but mostly dressmaking. Yeah, absolutely. It's I've always been a little bit terrified of zips, I really have. It's not something that, because I'm not a dressmaker, not something I've had a lot of practice in, but actually this method, this little letterbox method, is nice and easy. Just going right across that drawn line. Oh, well I would if I'd have taken the pin out, because I just got caught on the pin. You must be delayed. Oh, yeah. Yeah, sometimes if you could join a line live a little bit late, you might be sort of 3 or 4 minutes behind me. Or maybe yours is like Wi-Fi's a little bit slow and it's taking time to catch up. Is somebody being psychic and saying bless you before I sneezed? Here we go. So just go down that line, both corners, making sure I back stitch as well, both front and back. And there we go. Right, just iron off that little marking, and then we're going to chop off that excess. Just chop off that excess fabric like that. Take that pin out, and we're going to pop this aside, and I'm going to very quickly whip through like that. Okay, you want to turn this right sides out now. We're going to put this aside for later. Just make sure your boxing's done. Push out like that. And like that. Okay, we're going to pop that one aside. So there's your outside, or it's going to be the outside and the inside, isn't it? Because it's reversible. So there's one piece done. We're going to take the other piece, and you've got to watch me just very quickly. And I'm not going to put a pocket in this one, so it'll be a lot quicker. So I'm going to do the 2 side seams across the bottom, and then box the corners on this one. So, oh no, there we go. Turn that one over as well. I do love these fabrics. Really, really liking these. It's the Make Time range, and it's just the prettiest pastel, all based around sort of sew-in bits. So change camera. Oh, sorry. There we go. Oh, is everybody frozen? Is everybody frozen? Are you back? Are you not back? You're all saying you're frozen. Let me just check. Right. Strawberry bag. Camera, Sarah. Yeah, sorry. I was on. Are we back on 3 over here? Okay. I'm just going to pin this in place. Like that. No freezing there. Sorry, guys. I just think it's one of those things. It's, you know, Leslie pays a lot of money for broadband in this place because all the boys gaming and everything. So I'm not sure why it freezes. It's just one of those things. Okay. Right. So I'm going to stitch down the 2 sides, open it out, centre those seams, and the stitch along the bottom. Okay. So back over to number 4. Sorry, I missed the camera for a second, didn't I? So we're going to start by doing 2 side seams. So edge of foot, and away we go. Whip down this one. So you are going to have to talk to me because I'm just repeating the other bit now. Anybody doing anything exciting? Totally frozen. You had to close and reopen the live stream. Oh, sorry guys. I don't know what to suggest. There we go. Down the other side seam. Like that. I'm going to go back over here. Frozen on the laptop, so back on the iPad. Oh, Jean, bless you, you're backwards and forwards. I don't know why it does it. I'm so sorry. Unless we start using YouTube instead of Facebook or something, there's not much I can do, I'm afraid. So I've just got to quickly iron these seams open. I will ask Drew to double check, but like Drew streams like live games and everything to his followers and stuff. And he doesn't have the problem, so I think it might be Facebook. What are you doing? Susie, you're doing a foundation piece butterfly. Oh, nice. Been adding some birds to your binding to your quilts. Is that all birds to your quilt? Anne, how are you doing? Anne, how are you finding your little Grace frame? Because I know you've got one, haven't you? Have you had to go on it yet? I think it's Facebook, not you. Yeah. I think it's just Facebook because sometimes I can't cope with stuff. So I'm going to line up those centre seams. So I've move it around until those centre seams match, like that. There we go. Pin that in there. Make sure that one's lined up there. And I'm going to stitch that bottom seam and then just box these corners. Okay, I agree, it's Facebook because other lives free too. It's not just ours. Oh, well, at least I know it's not just mine, and I've got to shout at my husband. Sometimes though, if it's through Facebook, you have background signs on that cause issues due to licensing. Right. Oh, so right. So if I completely turn down Friends, which is on Netflix, do you think Facebook's listening to us, Tina? Is that what it is? Maybe they are. Right, we're on number 4. There we go. And you've had a practice. Going to try and small quilt over the next few days. Go for it. Let us know how you get on. There we go. So along the bottom. This is why I wanted to do an evening one with this, because I wanted to go through that zip like completely with you guys. You know, it does take a little bit of time to explain it. There we go. Okay. Right, box these two just like we did the other ones. So if we come back over to here, there you go. I'll take that pin out there. Just like we did before, just do that and iron that open a weeny bit so that I can see where the seam is. We're back on 3, yep. Finally got binding on your isolation quilt. Going to hand stitch it later and it'll finally be finished. Oh, that's what I'm doing once I come off here, guys, is I am going to bind a quilt that I'm taking on to Hachandra on Thursday. We've got some beautiful panels going on. Okay. And I've done a little bundle and I've done a little quilt pattern to go with it. So just like we did last time, that crease to the centre seam to get that really nice angle, get that in the right place like that, put a pin through, same this side like that. Let's find that seam to the crease. Where is it? Where's the crease? Just there, and pop a pin through. Do you need to turn a gap? No, you don't, my darling. No, Debbie, you don't. There, I'm going to show you in a moment. We're going to turn it all the way through a strap, which sounds crazy, but it works, I promise. So yeah, no, we're going to turn it through the strap. Okay, so let's get that 1.5 line like that. Which we're getting to that bit just now. As soon as I've boxed these corners, we'll be there. And where is it? 1.5. There's my 3. Like that. Draw these on. Sew these on. You started your isolation quilt. Ah, amazing. Ah, please do let us know. Had issues when live sales auctions when they had music playing. Since they stopped using music as background, it stopped freezing. Issues they had. Oh well, there we go. I had Friends on in the background, so I've turned Friends off just in case it was picking up on that about some sort of licensing. You never know. There we go, that's that one. Do you have an over? Next project is making it. Ooh, who was making a sweatshirt? I didn't see that one. We've got an overlocker which we can use in, which we bought for the shop, which I have used a couple of times, but I just wish I had more time because I see so many patterns, and because I love dresses, I'm such a dress girl. There's loads of dresses I think, oh, I want to make this, I want to make this, and I see all these beautiful fabrics in the different shows, and now we've got an overlocker. I really ought to try and make some time to actually play around with it. There we go, get rid of that excess, and then the fun starts. Right, boring bit over with, and let's just get this out of the way as well because we need a weeny bit of space. So you will have let me get that out of the way as well. You're going to have your lining with the wrong side out and your main with the right side out, and we're going to fit them together. Alright, so I'm going to shove this one inside like that. Like that. First things first, line up those seams, those centre seams, line them up like that. You want lots and lots of pins for this, or clips, whatever you decide to use. So one there, like that, and another one there, like that. Do those centre seams first before you do anything else. And then if you give it a bit of a shake, so I kind of grab it by the handles and give it a good shake to get it all shook down in. Okay, get those corners right down in like that. And you want to line up these raw edges on all these handles. Okay, so a bit tedious I'm afraid, but we're going to stick a load of pins in here. So I'm going to grab a bunch. You bought a Singer overlocker for right, yes, the ones in Lidl's. Be careful, Jean, with that one, the Singer ones from Lidl's. Apparently they were seconds. A lot of people found they weren't working. We bought one, we got rid of it. Didn't matter what we did, we couldn't, the tension wouldn't go right on it, and apparently they had lots and lots sent back. We then bought a Janome one, and I have to say it's bloody fantastic. So easy to set up and do. So all I'm doing is lining up those raw edges all the way around like that U shape to start with on one side. Okay, so I'm not pinning both sides, pinning one side together. So yeah, apparently it was like 1 in 5 of those Singer machines were dodgy, which is a shame because I swear by Lidl for a lot of things. In fact, in the little Silvercrest machines, which I can't remember at Aldi or Lidl, it's one of the most brilliant little sewing machines ever. So I avoided them for years and bought one a couple of years ago. Lovely neat seams now and everything I sew. Oh yeah, brilliant. There we go. So that's all round one side. Flip it over and we want to do the same the other side. So again, you do need lots of pins for this. You still with me? You're okay with what I'm doing, yeah? So all I'm doing is those long thin seams, I'm matching up the raw edges all the way up the straps, chucking some pins in. Don't need lots. Let me see, there's my dodgy cut in there. Can you see that that's one's a bit longer than the other? Don't want that. Let's have that bit there off. There we go, so they're the right length. And then this side here, again, match up that seam, those raw edges, pins all the way down. Okay, you haven't even taken it out of the box yet. We'll get it out of the box, lovely, and give it a go. Like I said, there were some problems with a lot. They were taking some back because there was about 1 in 5 apparently. They were a little bit dodgy. There we go. Right. These are your 2 straps here, so I'm going to move all this down so you can see this. All right. Okay. Decide on one. So one is going to be left where you're going to stitch normally. The other one, so I'm going to go left normal, right, I'm going to do a slight taper. Okay. And you've been lucky as mine was little and it's been okay. Brilliant. That's good, Anne. Okay, what I mean by that, so if I'm stitching in at 3/8 of an inch, instead of stitching straight like that, all I'm going to do is I'm not even going to draw a line. I'm just, as I'm getting to the end, I'm just going to taper it in a teeny tiny bit, about 1/8 of an inch more. So go up to like 1/2 an inch right on the very end. So I'm going to go 3/8, 3/8, 3/8, 3/8, and on one side only, so ignore this one, on one side only, I'm just going to taper it in just a tiny bit. You with me on that? Yeah, so over to, what we're going to do is we're going to start one side of the strap. Not across the, you're not going to sew across the tops at all. So I'm going to sew down this side, all the way around that U, and back up this side, okay, to get that taper. And then I'm going to start here and go down all the way up. Alright, so over we go. So it's a big long seam now, guys. So I'm going to start on the very edge like that, and away we go. Oh, I'm really sorry, my nose is very itchy now. And I'm just going down the edge of the strap. This would be a perfect opportunity to use an overlocker. You could absolutely use an overlocker on this. You don't need to because all these seams are going to be on the inside, but here we go, we're going round that edge And I'm just going to do one side of the U. Oh, no. Ha! I've missed a step, guys. Right, hang on. Where's my little bit of... Oh, no, hang on. Right, talk amongst yourselves a minute. I forgot to put the elastic in for the closure. 2 seconds. I've now got to find it. I've managed to lose it. Managed to lose it somewhere. Let's go and walk about. So I've got my buttons. Where's my little piece of elastic gone? Well, I don't know where that's gone. Where's my little bit of elastic gone? I had a piece of white elastic here that I brought over from the shop for... Don't know where it's gone, guys. Where on earth is that? Is it still in the bag, maybe? Did I leave it in the bag? No. That's most strange. I had a little piece of elastic here. You're going to talk amongst yourselves a second while I see if I can find it. Otherwise, we can't do the closure. Oh no, what have I done with it? That's most annoying. Okay, hang on. I've got black elastic here. I didn't want to do black. I wanted to do white. Hang on, I'm going to have to grab the black elastic a second. Let me just check it's not on the floor. Did it fall off the floor? Or onto the... Aha! Found it. It was on the floor. There we go. Right. So, before you start sewing those U's together, get yourself a little bit of elastic. All right. There we go. It's on the floor. Yes, I found it. It was on the floor. Thanks, guys. And just tie a knot in the end. So I think that was, what was that, about... You want about 8 inches. So that's a little bit long, actually. So chop that off. About 8 inches, like that, and just tie a knot in the end. All right. Like that. You want to put this on the same side as the zipped pocket. All right, so you've got a little loop like that. So if I go back over to here, sorry, I'm going to have to do this like this. So this is where the zipped pocket is. Where that centre point is, I should have tucked that in like that. Have your knot hanging out, okay, like that. Okay, and we're gonna sew that in now. All right. Found it! That was lucky, wasn't it? I was like, I know I brought a little piece over with me. When you get to the elastic, just hold that in place right on the centre. You can see I've got the knot all the way up here. I've given myself a little bit of wiggle room. That should stop it, that big knot should stop it pulling through, but you won't really feel it. Like that. And then I'm going to go back over. First place you look. Yeah, I should have looked at the floor first, shouldn't I? Back over the elastic because you really want it. And this is just a little piece of soft round elastic. There we go. And then I can go back up the U, the other side now. All the way around, like that. There we go. Right, now I'm coming to the end of this strap, and this is where I want to taper it. So I'm going to slow down about here. Now at the moment I'm keeping it all on the edge of the foot, alright, and what I want to do is just taper it a little bit. So I'm just literally going to angle it in, can you see, so I'm just a weeny bit away from the foot. That's all it needs to be, just on one edge. I remembered in the nick of time. I did remember in the nick of time. Okay, and then I'm going to turn it round and I'm going to do the same. So this is the tapered edge. So I'm going to start just a weeny bit away, like that, taper, and taper it down, like that. That will make sense in a moment, okay? And then away we go, all the way round. So, thanks for all shouting floor at me. I looked at the comments, I thought, oh, floor! That's where it was. Here we go, round that curve. Round we go. Just make sure that that seam's nice and flat. Take that pin out because it's coming out. There we go. You could add extra pockets to this. If you could have pockets both sides, I suppose, if you wanted to. You could have put yourself a little phone pocket in as well if you wanted. There we go, all the way up. And we are nearly done, guys. Okay, all the way up, like that. I didn't taper that side, okay? So, sorry, just had to take a swig of my drink, my throat's getting dry. So all this talking for nearly an hour. Right, okay, so all pins out now. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, there'll be lots in here now, won't there? And I won't find them all. Then I'll end up sticking them in my hands when I try and pull this through. There we go. Right, we are going to pull this through like the untapered, the big side, okay, the big strap, the end. It's going to feel like it won't go, but be patient with it, and it does go, I promise. And it's not difficult, it really isn't difficult. It went through a lot easier than I thought it would. There we go, last pin. Right, so there's the big end, like that, all right? Start working your way through, because we're going to turn this whole bag through this end and get as much as you can sort of concertinaed here, okay, before flipping it through, like that. Now you are going to have to bear with me while we pull this out, like that, all right? And then get your hand down in there. You've all pulled a bag through a small space before, I'm sure, but this does feel a bit odd because you're going to get the whole bag through that strap. Okay, and you're going to think it's never going to go, but it does. Okay, how are you all doing? Everybody all right? Are you all on your second G&T by now? So keep pulling and keep pulling like that. Pull the whole bag through that strap. There we go, like that. Keep going because you've got pull that other strap out like that. See, it didn't take too much time, did it? You just got. I find if you really concertina that first bit and get it and give yourself a good, you know, sort of running chance at getting at it, it works. So, come on, got it. Right, let me move this out of the way because I've got all sorts of stuff. I did that the way I made my bottle bag, so it was a bit of a struggle, and then it suddenly goes through. Yeah, I mean, these straps are quite wide, so it's not too bad. You know, this isn't too bad at all. But it does, you know, you've got to just believe in it. So shove the one fabric back inside the other, like that, like that. Okay, get those pockets in. And then what we're going to do, like that. Okay, so at the moment that zips on like that. Now there's your little that's your little fastener, okay, for your buttons. Okay, and putting it on the same side as your zip means that when the zip's on the inside, your zip's against when your zip's on the outside, it means the pocket's against you for, you know, like pickpockets and stuff. If you put the fastener this side, it means your pocket's on the outside, and I don't like that. I prefer it against me. Okay, we're going to give this, you'd roll all of these seams really, really well, okay, and give it a really, really good press. But because that's going to take a lot of time, we're going to skip that little step, and we're just going to get to the fastening, how to finish this off. Now, some of the boho bags I saw out there, just while I'm going to talk at you just while I'm pressing this a second, just the top bit, okay, had a really pretty sort of tied like in a knot to the top of it, and you can do that, and I'll show you that in a moment. Or you can do this little join that we're going to do now to finish off. Okay, so this is the narrow end, that's the wide end. Okay, get that, that's it, like that. Okay, so this is the slightly tapered, that's the flats. What we're going to do to start with is we're going to turn over on this one a little hem. Okay, so about 1/2 inch all the way around, like that. It could be more, it's entirely up to you, but about 1/2 inch is fine. Get that in. Come on, Get your fingers working. My fingers have stopped working now. Like that. Give that a good press. Like that. Okay. Just a little seam. Like that. Just a little hem, rather, like that. Okay. You could absolutely top stitch across both of those. Do the same there. Top stitch across. And then tie your bag across the, like that. And a nice knot. Okay. Like that. And then you've got your bag with like this decorative sort of like floppy knot bit. Okay. You could also, if you wanted to do that knotted one, when you cut them out, take this strap right up to the top of the fabric into like more of a point, but that makes it very hard to pull your bag through doing it this way. I think I'd rather just make it like that and just tie it into a knot. Okay. So G&T, it's a school night and I have to teach in the morning. Oh yeah, but one wouldn't hurt, would it, love? However, we're going to finish it off by doing this way. So I've turned a little hem over on that one. And on this one, this is why you taper it. Making sure you don't twist it. Okay. You're just going to slide that in. For however much you've turned it over. So what's that? I've actually turned that over about 1 inch. You're going to slide this in about 1 inch. Okay. Like that. There we go, and pop some pins in, and that's why you taper it slightly so that they slide in nicely and you haven't got, it's not fighting the bulk or anything of it. Like that and like that. And then we're going to sew in a little rectangle. So we're going to start here, we're going to go down, across, round like that. And if you want to, you can put a long cross in it. I just went round the rectangle twice, which is what we're going to do. Okay, we're going to come over to here. I'm going to stitch. I'm actually going to change the foot for this. Let me just swap over to the little clear foot so I can see what I'm doing. Where's my little clear foot? I was using it yesterday. That's bizarre. Where's that gone? There it is. There we go. This little clear foot that I've got is quite useful at this point because you can really see where you're going, okay, on it. There we go, because it's all transparent, so, well, the majority of it is anyway. Let's get that pin out. I'm going to come all the way down to here, like that. What I'm going to do is I drop everything on the floor. There we go, down that side. You've never known you use so many pins. I know! This is so many pins for me, isn't it? I mean, it's unheard of. I'm trying to be professional, you see, and do it properly. Ah, thanks, Heather. Thank you. No, the zip goes in quite easily, and it does look quite good, I think, on something like this. And all the way around, again, like that. There we go. Okay, and then just... Oh, finish off, sorry, my nose is really itchy. My tablets have all run out now, this time of night. Okay, we're going to go back over here. Hopefully you can see that. So I've just gone round in a rectangle there just to join that strap. Alright, and your very last sort of couple of little things, I'm not going to do it now because of time element. We've been going 1 hour and a quarter. Is I would give this I'd take this over to my big ironing board. It's so much easier than on this little one. Give this a really good press all the way around those seams. Okay, and then I would top stitch all the way around both sides. Okay, just give that a nice neat finish on that edge. All right, once you've done your top stitching, you can then add your buttons in. All right, so because my fastening's here, you want a button on this side. Again, I'm not going to sew a button on now, but just measure it with your fastening. So my button needs to be about there. Okay, just make sure it's going to go over, which it is. All right, and I actually marked the place and did my buttons so it's back to back on the other one. In fact, if I grab the other one, I can show you. My buttons are, so as I was sewing through that one, I went through the button and sewed back to back on that one so that it's in exactly the same place. And what that means is if when you're in a blue mood, you can have the blue on the outside and you've got your pocket there, all nice, and keep your purse or your card or your phone safe. But then if you want to change a scene, you can turn it and it's completely reversible. Okay, so then I've got my white on the outside, blue on the inside, my zip's now on there. Okay, there we go, it's totally reversible. Obviously this does need a press and a top stitch, but then it's totally reversible, and I've got a white bag. Okay, you play around with it. So hang on, if I just come back over to here, you can see that that now sits nice and easily over like that. There you get so much. I mean, it'd be a brilliant beach bag. You get so much in there. It's big enough to put your laptop in all in, you know, and then you can flip it round, change your outfit, and you've got a blue one. Let me just do that a second. And again, I would then keep my zip against me just for security. And when your button's on there, you've got it all done like that, and it's all done. There we go. So, reversible boho stroke hobo stroke sling bag. They've got lots and lots of different names. Lots and lots of names. Oh, it wasn't too bad, was that? An hour and 20? Basically, to make a bag from scratch. It's not bad, is it? And if you weren't listening to me rabbit on, it'd have been even quicker. So, love how versatile this bag is. It really is. Yeah, it's a really nice one. I really like this one. There were so many different versions out there, and I've taken, like I said, I took, you know, bits from this one and a bit from that, and then I thought, I'm not sure I like the strap, how they've done the straps on that. I'm going to choose that one. So I've kind of, you know, messed about with lots of different projects and come up with one that I liked. Added a zip in because I think a zipped pocket is always a good idea with a bag. You could, of course, put another, so you could put a phone one on here, or you could do an outside zipped pocket if you wanted to, but then that might be a bit security risky, so maybe I wouldn't. But, you know, play around with it. Put another zip on that side if you want, so you've got doubles. You could put on both sides. You could actually put one on that side if you wanted as well. Play around with the shapes as well, like I was saying. Instead of having boxed, you know, make that pattern, just curve off the edges and have it as flat, more like a postal bag. Do you know what I mean? Those lovely flat saddle bags. You could do that as well rather than a boxed edge. So there's lots and lots of things you can do. Thank you for joining me. Any questions before I go off and have my tea? Let me just have a quick read of your comments. Really enjoyed, thank you. No problem. Fab. Thank you for joining me. Nice bag, love it. Great, cool. I'm glad you've all enjoyed it. Thank you for joining me. Any questions? Are you all right with how you're finishing it? I will write this up properly. Like I said, there is a template, so my paper pattern is on the website. You can go and just download that and then refer back to this. A metre of 2 fabrics is more than enough. You actually need 85 centimetres. You need it is a weeny bit wasteful. You've got quite a bit of scrap, but there's loads of scrap. There's more than enough to, you know, use the pockets and stuff for that. But you need it for the length of the handle. Otherwise you'd have to piece the handle in different bits, and I didn't want extra seams in there. Some of them did. Some of them you did them out of 1/2 metres, but they had extra seams in the zips, and I just thought it broke that lovely line. I didn't want to do that. So it does use, I would say, 85 centimetres of 2 fabrics, width of fabric. There's nothing stopping you though playing around, you know, doing like I did with that one and doing 1/2 and 1/2 bags, piecing one, you know, mess around with them, make them your own. Okay, templates on the website. Thank you for joining me. Sarah will be back at 1 o'clock tomorrow, and she's got a new block for you. And then I've got Hachanda on Thursday at 1 o'clock and 5 o'clock. And I will ask Sarah to do a little walk around for you in the shop in the afternoon to show you some new fabrics, because we've had quite a lot of new stuff in, but we haven't showed you anything for a little while, have you? So yeah. So thank you all for joining me. Lots and lots of comments saying fabulous, great, lovely. Have a little go at it. Patterns on the website, and I'll see you all soon.